Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk Concussion and Culture in Rugby. Player welfare and concussion in particular is clearly a hot topic, and it's something that I've talked about before. I am Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and you're going to hear about me talking about it quite a bit more in the future as well, I'm afraid, because it is such a big topic and important for players. This comes off the back of my last talk on concussion, which was doing the right thing, and George Penn on Twitter got in touch and he said, excuse language, but there's still a culture surrounding concussions in rugby about who can beat highest. That is not okay, and it's very true. He goes on to say, even though we've had all this awareness and all this talk, he had a problem with this and around, I don't want to let my side down. And you do see that from players about all kinds of injuries, not just head injuries, but with head injuries being hidden, it's much harder on players to get themselves off, and that's why we need to protect them. We need to change the culture around concussion, and that if you're feeling woozy in any kind of way, it's not letting your team down by going off the pitch. In fact, it's helping the team, and it's helping you as well. Culture, in my belief anyway, is top-down driven, and that means that it's going to be driven by the professional players. They are role models. I know a lot of things about players and role models. They do say, look, they're good at playing a sport. They don't necessarily have to be moral role models. But in this case, we're talking about the sport itself. Without playing it, we're not talking about what they do off the pitch, or what they might say or have opinions about things. And so I think it is fairly right to say that they are role models as to how the game is played and to how players react to things like to concussions and injuries, and that players will be mimicked not just by youngsters but also by adults. So I think they really are role models here. The HIAs and the return to play protocols are processes, and processes are only as good as the people that are enforcing them. Change doesn't come about by pieces of paper or by saying do X, Y, Z. It comes about by people and how they act and how they behave, and that's how we get change to happen. So whilst those can be drivers and help change the culture in rugby, they're not an end in themselves. They're a tool to help us move in the right direction, rather than this being the end product of how we protect players. We must realise that it's not, that those aren't the be all and end all to solving concussion and to looking after players and making sure we don't have some of the issues down the line. So that's where I think we need to keep talking about this. We need to talking about players, that it's not about letting a team down, going off. By staying on the pitch, you're letting your team down, you're letting your mates down, you're letting your family down. You have to go off if you feel woozy in any kind of way, and we really need that culture to change and be changed by the professional players and have it top-down driven. We are heading in the right direction, but there's still a lot more to do. Thank you very much for listening. If you're watching on Twitter or Periscope, please do share this and feel free to put comments in during any of my talks. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up and give it a good old like. Also, if I don't miss out on any of my stuff by signing up for my newsletter, which is in the title of this on Periscope, or it's down below in the comments on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for listening, and I will catch you all again later.